Hello, I'm Jenny Fern and welcome to my library. We are in a different part of the house today. These are my other bookshelves. The bookshelves that I usually sit in front of are my have read bookshelves. These are the to read bookshelves, plus organized nonfiction. I had a quesadilla on the stove and it's done now. But today, I am going to be looking through these bookshelves to see if there's anything that I can donate and to put things on a list of read this and figure out if I want to keep it or not. Because I have a huge amount of books coming in the mail in the next month or so. My dog is making the loudest, grossest slurping sounds right now, and I hope you can't hear it. My secret to a good quesadilla is to use a spicy radish ferment that I make in the winter when the radishes are in season, and then I can use in the summer when I have my quesadillas. I'm actually going to start up in this corner and I'm going to work my way across. These books are in largely color order, so no real organizational structure. And I have a step stool because I need a step stool. David Copperfield I'm going to keep. I tried to read this recently and it's really long. This is the children's abridged version, but I'm reading the regular unabridged version. Next is Just Before Dark, collected nonfiction by Jim Harrison. And I think I'm going to keep this, although I know nothing about it. Then Mirror, Mirror by Gregory Maguire. This is the author of Wicked, and for some reason I have like a bunch of Gregory Maguire books and I don't think I care. I think I'm going to donate this. Then we have Wiener Dog Art, a Far Side collection. I'm definitely going to keep this, and that is that. We have The Matchmaker of Perigord. Don't know how I'm supposed to say that, but I picked this up somewhat recently at a thrift store, and I'm going to keep it. I don't know when I'm going to read it, though. I also have The Giraffe, the Pelly and Me by Roald Dahl. I should just bang this out and see if I like it, because Roald Dahl for me is really hit or miss. But I could probably read this today. And we have Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. I requested the audiobook for this for my library, so I'm on the holds list now. So hopefully I'll read this soon. I know it's a little bit weird to ask for a library book when I own it, but audiobooks are more convenient for me to listen to while I'm gardening, and then I don't have to give up a hobby for one of my other hobbies. Then I have Closing Time, which is the sequel to Catch-22. I do want to read this at some point, but I don't have it in my list anytime soon. Naked by David Sedaris. I am not convinced that I like David Sedaris' writing. I have read a few books of his, and I found it inspiring from a writing perspective, but I don't think I'm entertained by it, to be honest. I started reading Barrel Fever, and I don't really like it. But my husband had a bunch of these books from when he was younger, and so they're not mine to give away, and they're definitely staying in the house. Then we have Unbridled by Eileen Randall. I met this author, and she had some books available for us, and this is just not a genre that I have any interest in, and I'm going to give it away. Next we have Crime and Punishment. I got about halfway in this when I was in high school, probably. And I really, really enjoyed it when I was reading it. So I just gotta finish this puppy up. I'm obviously gonna start from the beginning because it's been a really long time. But I think I'm gonna love this. Then we have one of my 3 copies of Kafka's The Metamorphosis, but this also has other stories. I do have another copy that is The Metamorphosis and other stories. And I read one of the stories, which I think was called The Penitentiary, and I loved that story, even though it was kind of gross. And anyway, I don't have any plans to read this soon, but I'm not going to give it away. Then we have The Great Good Thing by Roderick Townley, and I have started to read this several times, and I'm really excited about it. I'm definitely going to read it. Not sure if I'll read it anytime soon though. Then we have Barack Obama's Dreams from My Father. I will read it at some point, not at the top of my list. And I also think this is my husband's, so it's not mine to give away. Then we have Jane Austen's Persuasion. I don't like Jane Austen, if I'm being perfectly honest. I read, what is it, Sense and Sensibility? No, Pride and Prejudice. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was so boring. And I tried to read the beginning of Persuasion, and I also thought it was so boring. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna read it at some point. I'm probably gonna keep it, even after I read it and don't like it, because it's a classic. Ooh! Next is Deadwood City, a Choose Your Own Adventure book. I love Choose Your Own Adventure books. I think I have actually read, obviously not all of the options, but I have read this book. And I'm gonna keep it, and I might read that today. So this one's not a Choose Your Own Adventure. This is The Adventures of You, and it is Sugarcane Island. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this again. Okay, now we have Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. It's freaking long. I thought I would like Haruki Murakami. And then I read, what did I read? Dance, 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 and I didn't care for it. I might have even read something else by him. I read the beginning of 1Q84 and I was like, this is pretty interesting, but it's so freaking long. I never finished it, and I feel guilty about loaning it from the library because it's just so freaking long. I'm never gonna get through it. I'm gonna keep it though, you know. This is a book from my husband's schooling, and it's Abigail Adams, An American Woman. I'm gonna keep this and I might read it. Almost out of the white books, which let me see how long this is. I might cut it off after we get to the gold book up there. Next we have Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children. I started this. I got to page 55. And I'm still quite interested in reading this and finishing it. It's just quite thick. So at some point I'll read this. Then there's Ruta Sepetris, Between Shades of Grey. I don't know if I want this. It's about the Soviet secret police in Lithuania. I don't know, it could be good. I'm pretty sure I've heard that it's good. So I'm gonna keep it. And then we have Ginger Pie by Eleanor Estes. I'm definitely going to keep this one. I should read this soon. I think it'll be fun. Now we get to some big, big boys. There's Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. This is an abridged version. I'd assume if I'm going to read it, I'll probably read the unabridged version. I'm not going to do that anytime soon. And then I have Don Quixote by Cervantes. I'm quite interested in reading this, but again, it's just really, really long. And I definitely won't read it from this book because the text is so dang small. So, you know, just holding on to this one for a while. Okay, then we have Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. And I'll get to this at some point, but again, no time soon. Its size does intimidate me. Oh, I'm getting to be a little too short. Oh goodness. Then we have The Mystery of Monster Mountain. This kind of looks like it's somewhat a Hardy Boys. It's Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators. I might read this soon because this looks kind of fun. Oh, this is something I don't know anything about, but it's beautiful looking. And I don't even know how to say it. I've never heard anything about it, I don't think, which is embarrassing. But it's Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. I don't know, it's like poems and stuff. I should put this on my bedside table and read these at night, I think. Because this looks pretty cool. I don't know. No idea. I should look this up. And then I have A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I've tried to read this as well, and I never got very far. But I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it at some point. And this is the last book that I'm gonna look at today. It is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. At some point I will read this. I don't have it on the docket anytime soon. I quite like reading Neil Gaiman. I've read a lot of his work. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but he's not disappointing. So, anyway, keeping it on the list. My quesadilla is getting cold. I should really eat it. It's been like 15 minutes. So I am confirmed getting rid of two of these books. I'm getting rid of Unbridled. I can only assume a fluffy rom-com kind of book. It has no appeal for me. I just don't want to read it. And Mirror Mirror. I think getting rid of these Gregory Maguire books is going to lift a weight from my shoulders. So I'm going to do it. And I've added to my list of things that I am more immediately going to read: The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, The Mystery of Monster Mountain, and this beautiful book, which I really need to look up what it is. So I had my quesadilla, which was very necessary because I was getting really hungry. I'm actually still really hungry, so I gotta figure out what else I'm gonna eat. But I did spend some time looking up what this book is, and it is a translation into English of a Persian book of quatrains by Omar Khayyam. Well, this is so funny. I've asked ChatGPT to give me some oddly specific book recommendation prompts, and it's had some difficulty with this in the past, where it then just like recommends me books, and it hit the nail on the head this time. I want to read you some of these. One is a book to read while hiding from a swarm of bees in an abandoned lighthouse. And honestly, I feel like I could recommend Annihilation for that one. Or perhaps Shutter Island. But the book, or the recommendation that I decided to go with was a book that will make you believe your toaster is plotting against you. I know I've talked about this book recently, but Stanislaw Lem's Memoirs Found in a Bathtub is the perfect book for that prompt. It has so many like counter conspiracies and like dupes and twists. You can't trust anything that you see or read or what people tell you in this book. So your toaster could be plotting against you and you'd have no idea. This is the book for that prompt. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do subsequent installments going through various colors in appropriate time chunks, especially if y'all are receptive to that and you like it, and hopefully free up a little bit more room on my bookshelf. Let me know what book you would recommend for hiding from a swarm of bees in a lighthouse, I think is what it was. Do any books come to mind for you for that? Let me know. And thanks as always for watching. Bye!